hear it differently. Some people can learn better by hearing things. I can't, because I wasn't raised in a culture, an oral, A-U-R-A-L culture. I wasn't raised in that, so I have to see something to remember it. And most of you probably have the same impediment as I do. But hearing something spoken aloud gives you a very different dynamic about it. So I'm going to read the first one, then folks can give me feedback, and if you think that's a crappy idea, we'll go from there. Okay. 10 reasons for choosing a simpler lifestyle. As an act of faith performed for the sake of personal integrity and as an expression of personal commitment to a more equitable distribution of the Earth's resources. And what people may want to notice when we're reading these is each one is actionary. The first one is an act of faith. The second is an act of self-defense. The third is an act of withdrawal. These are all actionary. None of these are passive. These are not passive suggestions. These are dynamic suggestions for dynamic people. Second, as an act of self-defense against the mind and body polluting effects of overconsumption.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Ugh. Even having to think about overconsuming makes you crazy. How many places in the world are people having to think about overconsumption?
Too many.
Not very many in the world over, but most people in this country and most of them here.
Yeah.
I like the idea, both of these, just from my personal lens, because my training's in psychology. The personal integrity concept and the act of self-defense against, and it's obviously mental effects as much as, a lot of this is about a mental effect that happens to us, which we don't really give much credence to. We don't really think about. We think about we worry about pollution, so, we don't necessarily like coal-burning plants or nuclear power. We're afraid of things, that type of pollution, and we're afraid of certain aspects, but it is more toxic, I think, sometimes to lack a sense of personal integrity, that you actually can trust yourself, than almost anything. So anyway, I'm intrigued by how this all starts.
Yeah, I read this and I see just the equitable distribution of the Earth's resources. That's socialism, woman.
Oh, excuse me, let me cross that out and put socialism in there. Oh, gosh. Maybe it's communism, actually.
Communism is more an economic system.
Oh, okay.
But I think that the idea of an equal distribution of Earth's resources, first of all, we don't own the Earth's resources in the first place. And so to distribute them seems an interesting challenge. If we don't own it, how could we distribute it? But it's more, to me, using it and, as you say, for the future as well. And I'm wondering what people would say if because everyone wants life better for their kids and for themselves. Most people do. And I think it's just the way of how you define better for your kids. And I think that a good thing is to redefine it differently from what we've been defining it before, which is bigger houses, bigger TVs, bigger cars, more money, and stuff. So.
Okay, as an act of withdrawal from the achievement neurosis of our high-pressure materialistic societies. As an act of solidarity with the majority of humankind, which has no choice about lifestyle. This is very important to me, because I've said in the past, if I have to eat grass so everybody can eat, I'll do it. Tell me what I need to do so other people can, because I'm really concerned about that. I mean, partially because I recognize that being an oppressor is really fucked up. Being an oppressor is a bad place to be, because psychologically, exactly like you're talking about, psychologically, spiritually, mentally, being an oppressor hurts you badly. The people who are being oppressed, they're being hurt, but they have a sense, there's a justice there, there's a sense of, unfairness that they recognize, but being an oppressor and not recognizing that you're doing that is really a really awful thing for one spiritually. And so I just really look at that and I think, okay, I want to be in solidarity. What does that mean for me to be in solidarity with people around the world who don't have the resources that I have, and who all these mechanisms are in place so that it's like that? So I'm not into guilt. Guilt doesn't work. Guilt just is something people hold on to so they don't have to act. Okay, so I'm not into guilt at all. I'm into like, what can I do? Because that actionary framework is a framework that keeps me out of depression, out of guilt, out of blame, out of all of that, by taking responsibility for what I might be able to do in a situation. And that's different for all of us in different situations. But certainly being a person from the United States has a lot to do with how we look at the rest of the world. I think we consume a lot and we produce a lot of waste, and they're still going to fight us about global warming. Still don't want to go.
It's not only the United States and the world, it's a lot of it is United States and the United States, because there's a whole lot of people here who don't have a choice of lifestyle.
Right.
And I think that it's